Hello, everyone, and welcome
What's
to
up there?
another installment of Got Back, our fan reaction. And this is going to be another fan reaction to show number two. And I am really excited because we've got a fan here that I've known since the show started, and we actually got to see McCartney together as well. So that
Nice.
just makes it all the more special. And he is Don Maley. And Don,
Okay.
welcome to the show.
Thank
Hello,
you. Thank you,
Don.
Andy. Thank you, Tom.
Welcome. Yeah. What show did you guys see together?
Phoenix 2019.
The last one before everything happened in 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
And I'm thinking it
So
might have been the same set list.
Pretty close, probably.
right.
We'll let
Well,
Tom.
I
We'll let Tom. Yeah.
I I
Yeah.
I did look it up. Trust me, I looked that up. And we're gonna get to that. But first, Don, before we get in, let everybody know where you're at, and just to get them know where you are.
I am in Clackamas, Oregon.
Okay, so you did a little traveling.
I did a little traveling. Yes, I went
Yeah.
to Tacoma on Sunday and stayed with my cousin. And then he took me back to Seattle, and I stayed in my really terrible motel downtown
Oh,
and got there early morning. And then I went to the show last night.
cool. Now, this isn't the first time you've seen Paul live, right?
No, this was number 10.
Number 10. Okay. And now
Number
you
10.
go back to the 76 tour, right?
Yes. Yes, I'm
That's
even
right.
on
So,
I'm even on YouTube with that.
right, that's right. That's right.
In the crowd, the face up in the crowd at 16 with my McCartney iron-on shirt.
And that
Wow.
was the Seattle show as well, right?
Yeah, I lived in. I went to
Bingo.
school in Yakima. We took the Greyhound bus up there, and it was the summer, and
Right.
that was during festival seating. So we were like I don't know, maybe 50, 100 in crowd when we got there that day in the afternoon, and just sat down and waited till the
Mhm.
show opened up. And they opened it up,
Right.
and it's like, I've never seen so many people in one place. It was like cattle, because that was the
Wow.
kingdom. And everybody
Cattle.
ran, and I went to the floor and was right by that cage where they filmed it, where Geraldo Rivera was for a brief moment, and I sat on the
Right.
floor. So,
Mm.
and it was
Now,
awesome.
now, how old were you?
I was 16.
76.
16.
Oh wow, that's the same as Joan. That's actually
Yeah.
who we interviewed the other night. But so when was the next time you saw Paul after that?
I went to, it was 89. I went
89,
to
right?
Los Angeles when he was there for the 5 nights at the Forum.
Oh, okay.
And Stevie Wonder came out. I think I was there on the Tuesday. I think it
Oh,
was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or something. And I was there
hmm
on a Tuesday at the Forum. And Stevie Wonder came out, and they did Ebony and Ivory for the second time.
nice.
And it was pretty incredible. And during the day, right across at the LA Forum was a Beatle convention with Mike McGear.
Oh
So he
wow.
signed some stuff for me, and he asked me if I'd seen Our Kid yet. And I said, no, that's what I'm doing tonight. But he was really, really nice guy. He loved that I knew about McGear, because I was really
hmm
into it, And
Right.
that was a really great show. There was like Cher was there, and Elton John, and a
Oh
couple
wow.
other people, Jack Nicholson, couple
Yeah.
sports
All the
people.
all the big wigs.
Yeah, and we
Mm,
all stood up. Like, I remember leaving, and the place was packed, and I stood there waiting for my friend, because she was sitting across the stadium. So I waited for her, the seating, and we stood there, and there was like cockroaches all over the walls. It's like, welcome to LA. And like big cockroaches I had never seen crawling down the wall. And there was like a guy there sweeping, or a janitor, and he goes, "Oh, don't worry about those. They're fine." It's like, no,
yeah. Yeah. No.
but it
But
was good. It was a great show. That was a nice tour to see.
cool. Cool. So did you get tickets right away, or did you wait to get tickets? And why
For
did you get tickets for
for
Paul?
that show or this one?
No, for this
No,
one.
this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got them right away. Well,
Okay.
kind of. I wasn't going to go. I just really wasn't going to go, because I thought I didn't want to travel, and I thought I just saw him recently. But of course, I got on, and it kept kicking me off like 3 or 4 times. So then it
Okay.
became a challenge, and I was mad at myself because I couldn't do it over like a Saturday morning at 6 a.m. So I thought, I'm going back and doing it. Ticketmaster, the app is ridiculous. So I did that, and I kept going back and finally got in. And I thought, you know what, I'll buy like a little bit more expensive because I went on PayPal and I can make payments. So
Right. Oh, cool. Very
but the ticket place where I thought I had really good seats, the seat wasn't what I thought it was. That was one of the things for the shows last night. I was
So
like just back on the floor, like up, like the first thing straight ahead with the show, the people on the floor, back by the soundboard, and then it went up, and I thought I was a couple like seats up, like a Y, but Y started at the other end, or it's like it ended at the other end, Z. So I look up, like, yeah, you're up there about 26, 24 rows. So it was okay, but it was not the best place to be, but it was a place was packed, and I guess that was a fairly recent show for that place had just opened up, so I think they haven't had a lot of concerts there. Knowing Paul, that was probably he was probably the first one to play. So.
And this was what was the name of the stadium?
It was called the Climate Pledge Arena.
Pledge Arena.
Or
Okay.
Climate Pledge Arena, and it's right there, just at about maybe 100, 200 yards from the Space Needle, right at the base. Because there's like a whole bunch of stuff there. There's a art museum. There's like the Seattle Center, a bunch of little stores, a park, and then you look up, and the Needle's like right above you, the Space Needle. So it's like really close to that. Okay.
So you didn't do the sound check, mini concert?
No,
did you?
No.
All right.
No, and I tried to get over there a little bit earlier, but nothing was going on. And I was close to my hotel, but I wasn't really sure where I was, so I just kind of went back. But
all right, let's cut to the chase.
Right.
The Voice, go.
It had its moments, and it had its bad moments.
What was the bad?
The bad was it Jet, and maybe I'm amazed.
He busted Jet back out?
Yeah. I think. Or it might have been Junior's
Farm.
Farm.
Yeah, Junior's Farm, you're
Junior's
thinking.
Farm. Okay.
Yeah,
he did some Wings song, and it didn't sound very good.
Maybe I'm amazed. Maybe I'm amazed is tough. That one's got to.
But you know what's weird, Andy, is it would do it, and he'd have, like, you could tell he was having trouble. And then long about the middle of the eighth, when the band kicked in and the song started going, he was normal. It sounded normal again. But there was each time on a few songs, he had a hard time starting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like whoa. It's like, he did Live and Let Die. That was it as an encore, one of the encores, which I don't remember it being that late. I thought he wasn't going to do it, and he did that, and it was a little bit hard for him on the vocals on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Naturally.
Yeah.
All right, so he opens with Can't Buy Me Love like he did the other night for that first show, going into Junior's Farm, which, I'm glad he brought back. I think he did it for us when we saw him in 2019.
Right, because that's a song. That's a song you wanted to see really bad, right?
Yes,
I remember you.
Yeah.
He did the short version. Did he do the long version last time?
No, he never has done the long version.
No, I don't think he's ever done it. So then we go into the horn songs, Letting Go, Got to Get You Into My Life. How did those go with the horn?
Those sounded really good. And you remember when we saw him, the horn guys were like someplace in the auditorium. Now they're right behind like Wicks.
Where they should be.
So they're all on the stage.
Should be. That's where they should be, damn it.
So they're a little.
That was kind of cool, though.
Yeah, they're a little more active. I mean, it's like they were playing along with some other songs that you didn't remember them playing before because they
should have had a horn section for the last 30 years. Stop kidding. Should have had a horn section forever.
The good part about it is funny you should say that, Andy, because a lot of it, like the first 6 songs, kind of reminded me of Wings Over America. Because it was almost like Got to Get You Into My Life, and it was a couple other things. And I thought, this sounds like Wings Over America because of the horns. And it was kind of that kind of mixture, kind of current couple years set list, and then Wings Over America. I thought, well, maybe this has like a little more Wings stuff. I don't know, but the Wings stuff kind of sounded like it was like every other song. Well, that kind of stopped.
Okay.
But I thought, which is fine by me. More Wings, less Beatles.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you. Hallelujah. Going into "Come On to Me," "Let Me Roll It," which I still don't know why he's doing that still, but it is what it is.
Did you know? Did you know too that he started this thing where he does a story about Jimi Hendrix the night that they were there. It was awesome. I never had heard that,
You
but
didn't
I
know
thought
that?
he did it, and he did the Foxy Lady at the end, and then he goes, the late great Jimi Hendrix, and everybody clapped. And I thought, okay, Paul, end it there.
Right.
But sure enough, they quieted down, and he went right back into the story again. But I thought, and I was on the Amtrak train today, and there was a bunch of people who had gone last night, and there was people like behind me telling that story because they had never seen him before.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Did you get friendly with the people you were sitting around? Did you notice if this was their first time seeing Paul live?
No, there was quite a few people that I had run into out in the merchandise lines, and those were nuts. There was one that I swear to you, there must have been 400 people in it before the show, and that was like the biggest one. There was a couple kind of like angled in different corners of levels, and one of them, which was that one, had more stuff, which I will get to because I had to stand in that line because the other ones didn't have what I wanted. But there was one guy there who had never seen. He stood behind me with his really cute girlfriend. He stood behind me, and he was saying he had never seen Paul.
Okay.
Then one guy behind him said, "I saw wings at the Cow Palace," and I go, "I saw wings at Kingdom," And this guy goes, "I've never seen anybody," So that was kind of cool. And there was a couple women in front of me, a couple white-haired women that had never seen him.
Okay. Okay.
It's like which is kind of cool. You meet a lot of people who have never gone, which kind of adds to your experience. You kind of forget everything else,
Which is why he does what he does with his same set list. He's playing for those people.
Exactly. You're totally right. I mean, everybody is a fan is going to have a different Paul that they like and a different Paul song that they want to hear. And
absolutely.
Well and who am I to say that if they enjoy those songs, that's fine. Even though I've heard them 100 times, not everybody's gone 10, 15 times like me.
No.
Some people have only gone once or twice, so what are you going to do, So.
Yeah. So then moving on, song 7 was Getting Better. How was that to you? Because that was
really good.
I love that song.
That sounded really good. And I thought, I haven't heard this for a while. The version sounded good. There's like lots of the band, and there's really a lot of psychedelic stuff on the screen that was kind of new. Like really animated, and it was like going all the time. Like there's some really weird footage of it. Looks like London, like during the war, and there's this really weird kind of yellow submarine going through stuff, and that played on a few things, like some new stuff I'd never seen before. So,
gotcha. Then we go to he's on the piano now. He's going into Women and Wives, My Valentine, 1985. Now, Women and Wives. Big shocker that this is the only song he's playing from McCartney 3. Big shocker.
And I was excited because it was something new. Right. I mean, it's one of my favorite songs in the album, but it just stuck out like just a sore thumb. It just like it was like it kind of went nowhere.
Not a good concert song. It's not. Not really. A song you play in a stadium. That's not a song you play in a stadium.
I thought do Sliding. Do Sliding, or do Seize the Day or something,
Seize the Day or something a little more rocking.
Lavatory Lil. Lavatory Lil.
Anything. Lavatory Lil would have been better.
I love it. I love Egyptian Station, but you're playing the two worst songs. We've seen those already. And he showed the video for You, which he did last time, but he showed more of the video. So it's like,
I like Women and Wives as a song, but it's not a concert song. Not a concert.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs on the album, but
not a concert. Not in that setting.
It totally just sounded out of place, and you could tell people were kind of like not really moving or doing anything, listening to it. Like,
and then
what is this?
And then My Valentine, hang that one up too. That's a flogging a dead horse. Enough with that song too.
Well, Nancy was in the audience. He pointed that out. So he had to do it for Nancy.
Well, of course. 1985. Great track. Glad he's doing that one actually. So what'd you think of that?
That was good because I love that song. So it's kind of like kind of like a cool Wings tune to play, you know, because it wasn't like a big hit at the time. It was just kind of buried on the album because of all the singles. And it's like everyone's like, love that song. So it was like kind of playing a really cool B-side or album track. And that's kind of cool for Wings. So, and you know, everybody loves it. Everybody goes, oh my God, you know, they recognize it because they love it. But yeah, and he sounded good at it. And
cool. Okay.
And there's a lot more backup vocals than before.
Yes, I've noticed that. Yes.
To help.
Were you to help? Were you surprised he's doing Maybe I'm Amazed on this tour?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
How did it sound?
And Hey Jude, which we'll get to later. I thought that maybe was hoping that Hey Jude would not be in the set, but it was.
Oh, that could never.
That's never going to come out. That's always.
I know.
Right. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I've just seen a face in spite of all the danger. Love Me Do.
Acoustic set.
Acoustic set, right? This was an acoustic set.
Yeah, that was kind of cool because they had some really good graphics, and boy, the big part was Abe like mugs like crazy and dances. You remember he did that thing with Dance Tonight, and now it's like he's doing like a bunch of stuff, and they keep showing him on the screen, and he's doing a bunch of stuff like mugging at the camera, and it's like and Paul said something to him because during that acoustic thing, which it might have been in spite of all the danger or something else, he kind of becomes the center point. And he kind of dances around Paul, and Paul kind of turned around and said, "Thank you, Abe, you know, for that choreography." It's like, because he was really part of it. He was really digging it, you know.
Right.
They're all probably happy to have a job again, you know. So
so then we go to Dance Tonight. Blackbird. Now I remember Blackbird. Now he gets lifted onto this kind of pedestal type thing for that, didn't he? For this one?
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden everybody left. Like I couldn't see any band, and it was just him like really briefly by himself, and it was like almost like he like so small because the rest of the stage was kind of like blocked off, and then he starts doing that, and then I think he might have just did that by himself, thinking there was no band, so maybe the band was just off stage, you know.
Right. So Here Today, was that also on the pedestal as well?
Yes.
Or was he brought down? Okay, so yeah. So Blackbird Here Today, like, go ahead.
Yeah, Here Today he has a hard time with. I don't know if it's because he's emotional, but he could not. The notes just. I mean, some of the songs he would start really, really poor, not poor, but not great, and then get better. And some of them he never improved. And I'm thinking, it's like, can you hear yourself? You know, especially, and maybe it was more noticeable because it was acoustic or it was him by himself. And Here Today, I know he gets emotional too at the same time.
Right. So, Understandable.
So that's probably a really emotional song for him to sing. And I probably as the years go more and more, he realizes it. So.
Right. So then the big switch then is he takes out Queenie Eye and does New.
Yeah. No Queenie Eye New. I was surprised to hear New, which I thought, well, I knew there was something coming, but I thought it was going to be Queenie Eye or something for that. I thought they were going to do that, but then it went into New, which was it was kind of nice to hear because I like that song. So, and that sounded really good.
Yeah. Lady Madonna, For You. Now you say you're not a big fan of For You, right? Are you?
I'm not. I mean, it's okay, but like 3 or 4 years later, there's better songs on that record. I mean, it's like I liked it at the time, but there are much better songs on that record. If you want to showcase that record, which I love that album,
right?
It's like those aren't like do something else. He could have done that medley, the Naked medley or something. It's like
yeah, true.
That's the Paul. That's me as a fan. That's Paul. But
Dominoes, Dominoes or something.
Dominoes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then he goes into a big Beatles kick here with Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. Something, obla da, you never give me your money. She came in through the bathroom and Get Back. Now, I was really happy to see him bringing back You Never Give Me Your Money and She Came in Through the Bathroom Window. Two of my, favorite later day Paul songs.
Yeah. Yeah, and he said that he kept saying, well, this is something he said before he introduced it that we've never done it live. So that's what he said. So
that's not true.
That's what they did. So, but usually isn't it in the whole medley with Golden Slumbers and all that? It's like I was waiting for him to repeat it.
No, it would have been Mean Mr. Mustard, Polythene Pam.
That's right.
Medley. Yeah, that medley right there.
I kind of waited for him to do the thing again where he does and in the end the Love You Take. I thought, Where's the part about like go to college and all that stuff? Isn't that
right?
that whole medley kind of runs together, you know? Yeah, I thought he's going to do it again.
Yeah. Go into Band on the Run, Let It Be, Live and Let Die, and then obviously Hey Jude. Band on the Run, I mean, he's still doing that. I mean, fine. I mean, that's probably going to be his most well-known solo song, right up there with probably Live and Let Die.
Yeah,
you know?
people went nuts. People went nuts for Band on the Run. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, so how was the crowd going during this whole point in time before the encore?
People loved it. People were going nuts. Everybody around me was going nuts, and it was a lot of people. You looked like they had never were just going nuts. And I'm thinking, is it just me, or this sounds really bad? The sound was just sounds like it was a little bit off, and I don't know what that was. It was like it almost sounded like it was recorded, but it was like it wasn't running the same speed as the performance. And a couple times it corrected itself. I thought maybe I'm just imagining it, but people didn't care, and that says it all right there. People didn't care; they were going nuts. You know.
Gotcha.
Does
Okay.
he come out, make a funny face, and say something, and people like that? You know?
Right. So, tell us about the Hey Jude then?
That was the usual Hey Jude. I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be there, but that part where it goes in, okay, just the fellows now, just the guys. Okay, now all the ladies, all the women.
So he still does that.
Still does that, yeah. It didn't seem. I thought maybe he's just going to say, okay, everybody sing together and kind of end it and fade it out. Oh no, he had to go into that whole thing again. So I get, and like Andy said, he's not going to take that out. You know.
Did any part of you feel that yes, the songs that you've heard a million times that you were tired of, even though like it's been a couple of years since Paul toured, did it have any feeling like, okay, I know this is overplayed, but we haven't seen him in a couple of years, so I don't mind it as much? Did you have any of that?
Myself?
Yeah,
yourself. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny you should say that because I don't think he didn't seem as animated. He almost seemed bored.
Oh.
And I was surprised for the second night of that. Like he was just kind of going through the motions. And again, maybe it was just stuff that I didn't know about with the sound. And I mean, he did thank all the people that put the show together, you know, but maybe something else was going on where he was not happy with the sound and we just didn't see that. He just didn't seem to be, I thought he seems like he's really tired. Like he's just not energetic. I mean, he was his usual self. He laughed and thanked everybody for being there and glad he came back and everything. But I just kind of felt like he was just kind of going through the motions. He wasn't into it.
Right. So they leave, they come back. The big special, the big part of the show is, I've got a feeling with the inclusion of Lennon's vocals on that. Take us through that.
I didn't realize that came so late. I was thinking, I was kind of waiting for that. And then I thought, watch, he won't do it tonight when I'm here. Because I thought it was in the middle of the show. And I thought that's kind of wanted to see because I didn't watch the YouTube. I didn't want to see anything from that first night because I wanted to be surprised. Right. Even like checking the set list the next day, I looked at a couple things and didn't want to see it because I wanted to be surprised, even though I knew it was going to be the same stuff because everybody said so. But yeah, it was kind of cool. I mean, he did that and it was cool. I don't think it was it didn't seem as monumental as it kind of played out to be. It was like over real fast, and there's a few great shots of John all by himself singing, and then they kind of cut to George and Ringo on the roof, which is like I'd never seen before, and they went back to John. You don't see Paul at all on the roof. You see Paul here today, gone, right now, but it was nice. I mean, it was everyone. Of course, everyone loved it. Everyone thought it was awesome, but I just thought it was kind of a filler. Which I heard so much about, it just kind of felt like filler.
Interesting.
But
yeah, because he has been doing, I've got a feeling, for a few tours now over the last 20 years.
Right.
But do it that way.
Yeah.
And I like that song. I mean, I love those versions because because they're rockers. It sounds good. That's like, I don't think that's like the greatest song in the world, but it comes across really well live, and he enjoys when he plays it. But I thought the John Lennon thing, I mean, it's emotional and I get it, but it was like, okay, it just didn't seem as big as I thought it would be, like I said, I was expecting it much earlier, and it kind of came kind of late. So maybe by that time,
if he did that with a different song, like if he did that with A Day in a Life, where they have like video footage of John singing that, and then it cuts to Paul doing his part, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that won't happen because 5 minutes will be John and 2 minutes will be Paul.
I know.
And it's like, do you guys know? Does he talk about Benefit of Mr. Kite in the lyrics? Did he write most of that? Is that why he does that?
Well, he just talks about the fact that he did contribute to that song. It's not like he, was like the main person that wrote the song. He's just more like, hey, I helped with that song, so that's just another reason for him to pay tribute to John, in my opinion. And plus it's a Beatles song,
It is a Beatles song.
So of course people are going to go crazy for it.
Yeah, and it's pretty psychedelic, so it kind of wraps up that era really well,
Right.
live. So maybe that's the point of it. But I thought,
I always
for
enjoy
him
when he does
representing Sergeant Pepper,
Lovely Rita, he does better live, I think, than Benefit of Mr. Kite. It would be
yeah,
nice if he threw that back.
and even Getting Better sounded good, a little bit because I hadn't heard it for a while,
Right.
Especially the comes the part about beating his woman. I was surprised he was going to say that. And a funny note back to My Valentine. He showed the video with Natalie Portman and Johnny Depp.
Oh, Johnny Depp, yeah.
When Johnny Depp came on, everybody laughed.
Yeah.
It was like a really weird laugh. Like,
really?
Is this new? Probably nobody had seen the video before, thinking, did Johnny Depp just do this? Hey, isn't Johnny Depp in the news?
Right.
I thought that was really strange. It's like,
right. Gotcha. So then he moves on to Birthday, Helter Skelter, and then the medley. So it's a good, good rocking bit with Birthday and Helter Skelter. I would imagine he sounded better with does he still sound good doing these rockers?
Oh yeah. I mean, because it was like the energy. So the energy was kind of there because it was like one after the other, and it's like the band sounded really good. And it was like kind of gelled there toward the end with the rockers, and the band is playing a big part. You can hear that they're doing more backup than I've ever heard before in previous concerts.
They need to now.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, exactly. Because like even you hear the band like way earlier than you used to. Paul
way
most
up
of it, you hear a little.
Yeah, the band is way much higher in the mix now.
Right. Because they're helping.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a great way to end it because it was all rockers and it was a white album, and plus, there's a lot of people around that haven't seen him again, and you never got a chance to see anything live from the White Album. So how cool was that? And he realized the White Album was such a cool record because he ends up doing quite a bit of it. With Old Blood D, Old Blood Da, and Birthday, and Helter Skelter, and
sure.
Blackbird,
Blackbird,
so quite a few, quite a few from the White Album. So, just talk about the initial. I mean, how did the crowd take it after it was all done? I'm sure the crowd was pretty crazy after it was, after the end is done, right? I mean, crowd going nuts.
Oh, nuts! Absolute nuts!
Yeah.
Absolute nuts. But I was in such an uncomfortable position where I was sitting because the seats were like totally like this. And I'm a big guy, and I'm tall. So it was like I was stuck right in the middle of the row. And of course I bought stuff which I had to keep on the floor to step on because I didn't know what to do with it. So I was worried about that. And then here come a couple people. And what's funny is you sit around and everybody's recording on their phone. No one's watching the show. It's like, hello. It's like, but it was like everybody, there was like two guys next to me. And I think they looked at this, they came late and they sat there. And I think neither one of them maybe looked at the stage maybe 3 times during the course of maybe 6-8 songs and just set their phone. And then you look around and people would be recording a specific moment like Blackbird or stuff like that. But I mean, that's fine. I understand that because it's probably the first time they see Paul. That'd be pretty cool to have on your phone, It's like, But yeah, people went absolute nuts.
Let's
and
talk
everybody's
about
singing along.
Right, of course. Let's talk about merch. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you got.
Can I just tell you the big thing? I was so excited because I was going to order it online.
You got the coasters. You got the coasters. I love it.
Egg.
Yes.
Wings over America.
Venus and Mars, London
and London
Town.
London Town. Yeah.
Isn't that cool? $40.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I was going to order them online. I didn't want to. And so when you go when I walked up there, and my friend was a staff member, so he was on the floor helping people with seats, and it's someone I haven't seen for a long time, and he's been doing that. I didn't know he was working the McCartney show, so we met and had dinner, and then I went with him, and he went in, and then he gave me a ride back to my hotel, which like.
Nice.
You know, 5 or 6 blocks. So I didn't want to be walking around in downtown Seattle to go back to my hotel.
Right.
But anyway, so I kind of went around and kind of waited around because by that time it was already 5:30, and I thought, well, I'm not going to walk back to my hotel and come back. So I sat there, but there is. I heard about the merch tent setting up before, so I went to that one, and I got the
Got Back tour.
Got Back tour.
Right.
The back says McCartney. Then it has the flags, the like old faded flags of the 10 places he's playing.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and the back is like cool. McCartney kind of written and faded, like kind of 70s Wonder Woman logo, and then all the cities. So that was I was going to buy a shirt. I was going to buy a shirt, which is the one with him with his with the cloud shirt, right? And that was like $50. But then I saw this. This was 105. So I thought, hey, I need a new hoodie anyway, so I'll buy the 105. and then they didn't have this, the $20 program, which is look at this is thick. It's 20 years of him in the band.
Right.
So that wasn't outside. Right, Andy's frozen, but that was out. All they had outside was T-shirts.
Okay, right.
And he's still frozen.
So yeah, he'll be back. So just talk about the whole thing in general, the whole experience. Where does this rate in your McCartney tour, tours that you've shows that you've seen?
It's probably maybe 8 or 9. I mean, I can't really think. I mean, it's like I've never really seen like a total awful McCartney show. I really haven't. I mean, because like that's why I go. I don't walk around and go, my God, that was absolutely terrible. I'll never see him again. But it just seemed kind of lackluster, And a couple shows have seen that way. Then maybe it's me because I've gone and it's the same songs over and over again. Because I saw him with Nirvana in Seattle. He came out on that one where he did Temporary Secretary and Long Tall Sally, which was great. And that was kind of that was a great show. Well, then a couple shows after that were like just okay. Like the sixth, I think I saw him in Portland in 2016, and then the next date was with you, Tom, for 2019. And that was a good show. I remember that was a really good show. There was lots of energy.
I thought that was fine. Yeah,
and it was nice to hear new stuff, from Egypt Station. So,
right.
But yeah, it just seemed kind of just not great. And it may have been A, my seat, B, the people that were around me, or the sound that just kind of added to it, But I'd still go again. But it was I give it like a C, even a B minus.
Don, I cut out a minute ago. Can you hold up that tour book again and show how thick it was? It looked pretty thick.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's see the spine.
Yeah, that's a thick tour book.
$50.
Oh, it's 50.
50.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't have these outside. The tent only had the merchandise. And maybe like a couple hoodies, including this one, a couple tie-dye ones that were really hippie-ish. And then you went inside and they had the coasters only at one and the books, which I hadn't seen outside. So I had to go to a couple inside to get the book. And I thought it was just a program, but it was like $50. I'm going, and it's cool because it's like the whole history of the band and his touring.
Over 20 years. That book, that's why it looks essential, because it's his history with these guys that he's been with for 20
That's gonna be
years.
I might have you pick one up for me, Andy, when you're at the show.
It's really cool. I mean, it's really nice for $50 because it's the very last couple of pages. There's the thing about, it says coming up with his writing, and then you go to the next chapter and it shows the Get Back. Like he talks a little bit about that, and Peter Jackson, and then he says they have a whole like 4 pages on the archive.
Okay.
And then it says, and they got the archive, and they talk about each one coming out in the order they came out, and the bonus. And then at the bottom it says check Paul McCartney for new information on them. So maybe
Right.
so it's on his mind. So archive hopefully is soon. So
hopefully
that was worth $50.
Now, one more thing about the show. Now, at the end of the show, did he say anything about "we'll be back, we'll see you again" or anything like that? Do you recall?
He said, "See you next time."
He always
Okay.
does. Which he always
I know,
All right.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've seen him 10 times. I've heard him say that each time. When I saw
Right.
Wings Over America, that was a big
That's right.
deal.
Mayo and I had the same question at the same time. That's
See you
funny.
next time.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm still happy that I went. I mean, I got some great merchandise.
Well,
I
yeah,
spent way too much
absolutely.
money. Don't you do one? Who doesn't? So.
Right. I know I did when you were here.
It's nuts. And it's like, I thought that it's like, oh, what the hell? It's like you already spent $500 on the ticket, $300, $200 on a motel room.
Right.
So what the hell?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Right.
And a lot of people said that in line for the merchandise. They said, we don't do it for everybody. We do it for Paul, because people went nuts for some of the stuff around me because they were like buying everything. They had never seen it before. Because again, it's probably their first show. But that place is a maze hell. You cannot get out. You can't get in.
Really?
You can't get out of the seats because everything goes around and around, and you go down, and you can't get back to the next floor because you have to turn around and go back out.
All right. And this is your first time at that arena, right? This is your first time at that arena. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the first concert there. They just opened it up. I don't think there was billboards for the Who. Andy froze again. The Who's coming. And it's like, so I think it just kind of started concerts. It's a really nice, and I think someone said that it was like a smaller venue for him.
Okay.
But there were a few empty seats, but by time of the third or fourth song, there was nothing. That place, it was every section was packed all the way up to the floor. Gotcha.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you went. I'm glad you are here to tell us about it, and glad you had I'm glad you made the best of the kind of a shitty situation with the seats and the the people around you, but still sounds like you had a good decent to good time. So happy about that.
There's some great moments of the show that I've experienced them before, but they're just as good each time that I like.
Did you see him take a Did you see him take a drink?
No.
No.
I don't think he did. I mean,
no, he was caught taking a drink for the first show, actually. So.
He was? Oh my God,
yeah.
It's a first.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to sit back at the piano and have a cigarette, because that photo a couple months ago of him having a cigarette.
Right.
I thought, he's he could be like someone on the piano with a cigarette in the thing, like Ray Charles or something, like I'm Paul McCartney at the piano. But I mean, he's happy to be back, and I mean, he did that. He said that, it's like he's happy to be back because he probably thought it wouldn't be this soon, and.
Right.
But I can't see him going much longer. I mean, I really don't. It's like if that's the case and he does the same thing, I may think twice about if it goes a couple more years. I may think twice about going to see him again. I don't want to end on a bad note. I mean, I'm glad I went. I would certainly never encourage anybody not to go if they've never seen him. But because it is experience. I mean, you get lost in it, just like when you and we went to Arizona. Yeah. And I sat near those people who were 70 and they were crying at the end of it because they'd never seen him. And they were like in their late 70s. Right. And at the end of it, the guy was crying. Him and his wife were crying. It's like, you can't get him. How can you not ignore that, and think, oh my God.
No, I know. I get it. I get it. I mean, Nikki and I, we were sitting next to a family from Denver that had never seen him before too. And they were going crazy, So you can't ignore that. Absolutely. So, Andy, anything you want to add before we sign off here?
No, just thanks for the honest review, Don. It was very honest and appreciative. It wasn't just sugarcoated. So thank you.
And can I just say too that I thought with that stupid him walking the board. That have you seen that when it's on one of the shirts where he's walking the plank? That's part of the tour merchandise.
No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay, they added on. It's a like a cartoon. and he's walking out a plank, and the plank, he's at the end of the plank, and it's a lake.
Okay.
And
Oh,
saw
I
that.
did
It said-
see that. I saw that. I saw that. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I saw that, and I thought that was a bootleg shirt. I didn't think it was real. You can buy a poster and that shirt and a hoodie at the merchandise.
Okay.
I thought, what's the point of that? It just looked so bizarre among everything else. But
Right.
just my 2 cents. But I thought it was really weird. But people are going nuts buying the poster of all the great shirts, like this, and the coverage is like you can get a poster of that for $50. The walk in the
Cool.
plank. But yeah, but it was
Excellent.
it was good. It was Paul, but
Mhm.
I'm happy.
Mhm. Good. Well, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy for you, my friend. So,
Thank you
Don,
so much.
thank you. Yeah, thank you for popping in here. It was a pleasure, having you here. And obviously, it's been a pleasure, going to a show with you, and for these last 6 years, getting to know you. It's been an honor, my friend.
Well, thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. I still enjoy this so much.
Yeah.
As
Well,
far
thank
as you guys.
Thank you, Don. Thank you very much.
Even Andy.
Right.
Andy's good.
Yeah,
Even
Andy's
Andy.
good. We won't
Wow,
talk.
really?
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm
we won't
done.
talk
See you
about
later.
that other light. That